So we found, where was it? Lumsdale
Falls
yesterday. Just looking at curiosities around this part of Derbyshire in the Peak District. And we decided that we'd have another look for other things. And one of the close ones that cropped up was Rowtor Rocks.
It's either Rowtor Rocks or Rowtor Rocks, we're not really sure. We've asked a few locals and who we know at coffee shop we go to, and they didn't even know it existed, did they? No. So they couldn't help us with the pronunciation.
But it's only just down the road, a couple of miles down the road near Birchover, so they can't see me because of rum. So we're just going to pop over there and have a look at it.
And I think it might become a little bit of a series of these curiosities, because there's quite a lot around actually, so
we'll see where we get to.
Come along. And today we're walking in the footsteps of Druids. Rowtor or Rowtor Rocks.
What is it? It's Derbyshire gritstone, isn't it? This.
Yeah.
Ideal for kids.
And big kids.
And big kids.
Torch.
You can crawl right the way through. As just like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
or you can walk round, it's up to you.
I'm going to come through. I'm supposed to be getting more adventurous in my old age. This doesn't mean I'm going caving anytime soon.
Well, you wouldn't have done that a while ago.
No.
Well, you could have come round the path.
That'd be too easy. So, Rowtor Rocks are a natural rock formation, but with added extras.
Oh, I'm going to have to go there. And that's a dark cave. We haven't got any lights with us, unfortunately.
Oh, maybe I'm not going to go there.
Why you get through there?
I can't cut you like that. Not nice. Oh, the angle's wrong. But yes, there are steps and other things carved into these rocks. They were carved by and built, added to, by a preacher who was also a practicing druid. And the story goes, he would come up here to write his sermons, to get inspiration, and gather with other Druids. And as we go along, you'll see more things that have been carved out.
Just working out the way to go.
I don't think it's that way.
No.
Oh, there are steps that are being added to.
Hang on.
Blocks that have been added to it to make more of a doorway. It's a little room.
We might have to go up those steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless, oh, there's a path around there, I think.
All right.
If you don't fancy the steps.
Is that another little...
That's where we went through.
Oh, we went through. All right. You can get lost up here though, can't you?
Quite easily.
Little offshoots of path.
Just along here, I think, is where it was. That'd be those steps. That'd be those steps up.
From here.
Yeah.
And then here
It is.
is a bench that's been carved out. Another place where he was said to have sat and looked out at the views. Not much to view these days because there are trees in the way, but
A lot of people have sat here by the look of it and carved their initials.
1969? Or no, maybe 1869.
There's an 1863 there.
1867.
67.
But the bench isn't the best bit, because somewhere on here, up here, there are some seats that have been carved as well. More steps here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess back in the day there weren't as many trees up here blocking the view.
An old column on the top.
Oh yeah. presume they were for collecting water and carved out, or unless they had more columns in them or something in the past. What a place. What was it? 2 years ago you came up here to find a
Cache.
virtual geocache.
Yeah.
I said I'll wait in the car because I couldn't do it.
Lots to explore around here.
Tell you what there is.
A smell of garlic.
Nice smell of food coming from that pub down below.
There's the seats over there.
Oh yes. We're quite high up, aren't we?
We are looking over to the valley. Not quite big enough, the steps though.
No. Made for smaller feet.
Some nice armrests on the stone seats.
Yeah, I'll climb up to them.
Might be better starting there.
I'll have the middle one. Coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Quite comfy actually. I've got a nice lean on the back. Yeah. Ooh. What's missing, don't you?
A cup of coffee.
We should have brought a flask. You always laugh at me when I say, shall we take a flask?
We don't. Do we possess a flask?
We do possess a flask.
But it is certainly time for a coffee somewhere.
It is. We're looking around again, sat here.
There we are. Sat on the stone seats.
And very comfortable they are too. For stone, they're not bad at all. Don't need a cushion. But you might do on a cold day.
Yeah.
But you can imagine before all the trees were here, or not as tall, it would have been quite a view from here. Be sat here writing his sermons, ready for church. And it's peaceful. Alright, you can hear a little bit of road noise these days, but imagine 150, 200 years ago, whenever it was. Not sure of the date, but we'll find out. It was very peaceful. In fact, I'm just looking at a rock over there, and I can see a face. You can see it. Looks like a pursed lips and then a nose. You look, don't know,
Down there.
down here, I can see a nose and a mouth.
Lots of nooks and crannies to explore.
It's a bit of a shame that these days this is what's done rather than carving. I know carving's a bit bad anyway, but it just goes on, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
More steps. A lot of work went into it, isn't there? Really?
Yeah. That's more or less the end of it, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's quite a steep drop now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially on that bit. Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like a big kid again. Come in. I mean, without all the carvings and everything, it's an amazing formation, isn't it? All the formations. To be prickled by holly. But look how close we are to houses.
I think we're back to almost where we started. Down there.
So if you're in this part of the Peak District, which is Rowtor Rocks,
Rowtor Rocks,
which is in
Birchover.
Come and have a look, because it's a nice little place to look around.
That's alright.
No, I know what you're doing.
I'm usually in a position to stop Daryl falling, so if the camera goes flying,
How strong is this?
just hold it down lower, you'll be alright. That's it.
That's what you bought.
Not that bad.
Oh, getting better.
This way. There we are, back to the path we came up.
So, as with all our videos, or most of our videos, we're ending with a coffee. But this one's been paid for by one of our subscribers, Janet. So thanks, Janet. You sent us a little bit of money and paid to PayPal to get us a coffee. So
That's much appreciated.
came with a biscuit. Thank you very much.
As it always does here.
It always does. But we've just been checking the history of Rowtor Rocks. Rowtor Rocks. We're going to check what it's called. They were carved.
It's R-O-W.
It is R-O-W, so to me it's Rowtor. But, they were carved in the 18th century, and the parson. I'm reading this without my glasses. The parson was called Thomas Eyre, and he was a member of the ancient order of Druids.
You aren't reading it. You need a
I put my pound glasses off.
We need an auto cue.
You are my auto cue. He was a member of the ancient order of Druids, which were formed in 1781, that used to meet locally at the Druid Inn, which is where we started this video, the pub sign. So the Druid connection is a real one, so it says here. So yes, if you're in the area, go. It's a nice little walk out, isn't it?
It is.
Taking the glasses off.
Kids would enjoy, really
They
enjoy
would,
it.
because it's a bit of a scramble, isn't it?
Scramble and going through the caves and
little
tunnels.
rooms and everything.
Yeah.
So. We didn't take the dogs. We thought it best not to take the dogs, didn't we? Because there are some drops. So if you did take kids,
Just be
be
careful.
aware. Probably not best for toddlers. Definitely a nice place to visit. So again, thanks Janet. Thanks for the coffee. Much appreciated. And we shall see you again soon.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick